Have you ever wondered what the secret to a happy family is? In a world where relationships are often tested, there's a timeless guide that offers practical advice and lasting solutions. In this video, we'll explore the Bible's principles that can transform your family, bringing harmony, love, and happiness. Discover how to apply millennial wisdom to your daily life and build unbreakable family bonds. Subscribe to the channel for more biblical answers. God performed the first marriage. The Bible says that God created the first woman and brought her to the man. Adam was so happy that he said, "This is at last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." Genesis 22:23. This account shows us that Jehovah wants married people to be happy. Sadly, though, many people have never had a happy family life. However, it is good to know that the Bible contains many principles that can help all family members to be happy. Luke 11:28. The Bible also teaches us about the qualities of Jehovah and Jesus, and it explains that if everyone imitates them, there will be harmony in the family. Ephesians 5:1-2. The Bible says that a good husband should always treat his wife with love and respect. In this regard, please read Ephesians 5:25-29. A husband must also protect his wife, care for her, and never mistreat her in any way. Husbands are told, "Keep on loving your wives and do not be bitterly angry with them." Colossians 3:19. If you are a husband, you should remember that you too make mistakes. So if you want God to forgive you, you must forgive your wife. Matthew 6:12, 14, 15. It will be easier for a husband and wife to have a happy marriage if both of them are willing to forgive each other. Jehovah wants husbands to honor their wives. A husband should try to understand his wife's physical and emotional needs. This is a very important matter. If a husband did not treat his wife well, Jehovah might refuse to listen to his prayers. 1 Peter 3:7. To Jehovah, men are not more important than women. In fact, he values all who love him. Regarding a husband and wife, Jesus explained that they are no longer two, but one flesh. Matthew 19:6. A husband and wife must always be loyal to each other. Proverbs 5:15-21, Hebrews 13:4. A husband should unselfishly satisfy his wife's sexual needs, and a wife should do the same for her husband. 1 Corinthians 7:3-5. Speaking of husbands, the Bible says that no man ever hated his own body, but he feeds and cherishes it. So a husband needs to love his wife and care for her. A wife especially wants her husband to be considerate and loving toward her. Ephesians 5:29. In every family, there needs to be a head, someone to take the lead so that everyone cooperates in harmony. At 1 Corinthians 11:3, the Bible says, "The head of every man is the Christ. The head of a woman is the man, and the head of the Christ is God." Of course, all husbands make mistakes. But when a wife supports her husband's decisions and willingly cooperates with him, all in the family benefit. 1 Peter 3:1-6. In the Bible we read, "The wife should have deep respect for her husband." Ephesians 5:33. What if a husband does not share his wife's religious beliefs? The wife should still have deep respect for him. In fact, the Bible says, "You wives, be in subjection to your husbands, so that if any are not obedient to the word, they may be won without a word through the conduct of their wives, because of having been eyewitnesses of your chaste conduct together with deep respect." 1 Peter 3:1-2. If a wife lives by Bible principles, her husband may see how much she values her religious beliefs, and he may begin to respect her faith. What can a wife do when she disagrees with her husband? She should respectfully express her opinions. On one occasion, Sarah said something that Abraham did not agree with, and Jehovah told him, "Listen to her." Genesis 21:9-12. Still, a wife should support the decisions that a Christian husband makes, since these will rarely go against what the Bible says. Acts 5:29, Ephesians 5:24. A good wife will also take care of the family. Read Titus 2:4-5. Her husband and children will love and respect her even more when they see all that she does for them. Proverbs 31:10-28. Sometimes couples make a quick decision to separate or divorce. But the Bible says a wife should not separate from her husband, and a husband should not leave his wife. 1 Corinthians 7:10-11. There are, however, some extreme circumstances under which a couple might decide to separate. Still, they should think carefully before making this decision. And what about divorce? According to the Bible, a husband and wife can divorce only if one of them has sexual relations with someone who is not their mate. Matthew 19:9. If you are a parent, you should spend as much time as possible with your children. They not only need you, but most important, they need you to help them learn about Jehovah. Deuteronomy 6:4-9. Because there is more and more badness in Satan's world, some people may want to harm our children, even trying to abuse them sexually. Some parents find it hard to talk to their children about this subject. But it is important for parents to warn their children and to teach them how to avoid such people. A parent must do everything possible to protect his or her children. 1 Peter 5:8. Parents have the responsibility to teach their children how to behave well. If you are a parent, how can you do this? Your children need guidance, but when you correct them, you should never be harsh or violent. Jeremiah 30:11. So never discipline your children when you are angry. You certainly do not want to hurt them with words that are like the stabs of a sword. Proverbs 12:18. Explain to your children why they should be obedient. Ephesians 6:4, Hebrews 12:9-11. Jesus always obeyed his Father, even when it was not easy. Luke 22:42, John 8:28-29. Jehovah wants children to obey their parents too. Ephesians 6:1-3. If you are a child, remember that by obeying your parents, even when it seems hard to do, you will make both them and Jehovah happy. Proverbs 1:8, 6:20, 23, 22, 25. The devil can use your friends or other young people to pressure you to do wrong things. He knows how hard it is to resist in these situations. For example, Jacob's daughter Dinah had friends who did not love Jehovah, and this caused many problems for her and her family. Genesis 34:1-2. If your friends do not love Jehovah, they may pressure you to do something that Jehovah hates, and this would make you, your family, and God very sad. Proverbs 17:21-25. That is why it is so important for you to choose as friends those who love Jehovah. 1 Corinthians 15:33. When everyone in the family follows God's guidance, many problems are avoided. So if you are a husband, love your wife and show it by your actions. If you are a wife, Show respect for your husband, support his decisions, and imitate the example of the wife described at Proverbs 31:10-31. If you are a parent, teach your children to love God, Proverbs 22:6. If you are a father, preside over your household in a fine manner, 1 Timothy 3:4, 5, 5:8. And if you are a child, obey your parents, Colossians 3:20. Do not forget that everyone in the family can make mistakes, so try to be humble and apologize when you make a mistake. There is no doubt that the Bible contains Jehovah's instructions for every member of the family. Family happiness is not a utopia, but an achievable reality. By following the Bible's advice and applying the principles of love, respect, and communication, you can create a peaceful and fulfilling family environment. Remember, every small step counts. Start building the family of your dreams today. Subscribe to the channel for more gems of wisdom from the Bible.